Hey everybody out there, it's Amber back here at the B channel with more tips on losing weight. Today I would like to discuss how to eat for weight loss. And my first tip is going to be you should never go longer than 3 to 4 hours without snacks. You should graze throughout the day at consistent intervals to keep your blood sugar steady and to keep hunger at bay. So that's very important. You don't want to get into a habit of binge eating because you haven't eaten for several hours and you're just so hungry you don't know what to do. So that really helps if you just eat every few hours. The next thing I would say is you need to eat 5 to 6 times a day. Listen to your body whenever you're hungry. Like, don't ignore it if you're hungry. Like, you need to eat. Don't deprive yourself. A lot of people think that if you're trying to lose weight that you shouldn't eat, but that's the exact opposite of what you should do. You have to eat something to sustain yourself, to fuel your body, to do the workouts, and to get stronger and get healthier. You have to eat right, and you have to eat consistently. That's the key. Another thing I would say is to decrease stress in your work day or your school day or whatever activities that you're engaged in. You want to make sure that you pack snacks or water, whether that be sparkling water or filtered water, infused water, whatever your choice of beverage is. You want to make sure you pack your snacks before work and school, like that night before. Plan ahead so that you can decrease your stress, because if you have it packed, you don't have to worry about it. That's one less thing you have to do in the morning. You can just roll right out the door. And if you know you're going to be out all day, like for instance, if you're going shopping or you're going to some type of sporting event, plan ahead and bring healthy snacks that you can eat so you can control what your choices are and avoid temptation. It helps tremendously to curb your hunger as well when you have things with you, because you're going to be burning off a lot of energy if you're doing something like shopping, walking to all those stores and things. You want to make sure that you're properly fueled for that trip, whatever your trip may be, or your outing for the day. I don't know what your situation is, but anyway, another tip that I would like to offer you is pre-portioned snacks. Or so if you what you would like to do is, if you know you like a certain snack, buy it in bulk, and that way you always have it on hand, especially the ones that are already pre-portioned. That's great for those of you who are time poor, as I would like to say. But if you had the extra time, pre-portion, buy the regular box, because sometimes it's more economically feasible to just buy the regular box and portion it yourself. And at the dollar store, they have those little baggies that's already pre-portioned, where it tells you how much it is, whether it's a cup, a half a cup, 3/4 of a cup. And I just really like the convenience of that and the accountability that provides, because you can actually see how much of it you're eating. So that's something that I often do, and it saves time if you pack it ahead of time. You don't have to be so precise in terms of how many actual items you're eating. Like I'm gonna eat 100 of these. You can just look at the bag and say, oh, I ate a cup of that, and it just helps you, to really see how much you're actually eating of something. So, and the last tip that I would say before I get into actual meal plans that have worked for me, keep it simple and eat the same foods throughout the week, because at least in terms of the snacks, it keeps you, like, it makes it easier for you to eat because you don't have to think about it so much. So it's like, okay, I know what I'm going to eat, and it just takes the stress out of the situation, because you already know what you're going to do, especially during the week. Now, on the weekends, if you're off or if you have days off, maybe you can eat something different those days, but try to keep it to the same thing. It's going to decrease your stress tremendously, and you'll feel more in control of your eating habits because you already have a game plan, a routine, so to speak, in terms of eating. And when you get bored, just be sure to switch the flavors out. So instead of pineapple Greek yogurt, maybe you do mango, or maybe you eat strawberry or blueberry. But you know, when you find what works for you, just stick to it. Change up the flavors, maybe change up the spices in the chicken, or maybe change up the flavor of sparkling water. Just you want to keep yourself adventurous with the food. Don't get stuck in a rut. Don't get too bored with it because you're not going to stick to it. So that's something that I would say. And the next tip I would say is I'm going to move into what a filling breakfast looks like. To me, a filling breakfast is a must because it sets the tone for your appetite control for the rest of the day. Because if you don't eat breakfast, a nice filling breakfast, you will be binging like endlessly throughout the day, like because you're just like your sugar is crashing and everything, because that sets the tone for the entire day. When what you eat at breakfast time is going to determine how full you are for the rest of the day. Like I really feel like it has a big impact on my day when I don't eat breakfast like I should, and I'm just constantly searching for fullness the rest of the day. But I digress. An example of something that I would eat for breakfast is oatmeal. 1 cup of oatmeal, just the quick 1 minute oatmeal, the Quaker oats, and I would eat 1 piece of fruit, like a banana or an orange, or maybe even a cup of grapes, or like a couple of strawberries or something. Doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes I even just eat a cup of Greek yogurt, and that's what fills me up for the day. And along with that, I'm drinking my water. So that's another thing. Throughout the day, you want to drink your water. So at least a cup of water with every meal, and 8 cups is, to me, 8 cups is the minimum. Depending on your body weight, a lot of people say you should drink half your body weight, but whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever makes you the most hydrated is what you should drink. So I'm not going to make that decision for you. That's up to you. Totally up to you. Because if you feel parched, that's how you know you need to drink more. And when you're at the point of being parched, then you're dehydrated already. So that's why I say, without even thinking about it, make a habit of having water with every meal. And even before you eat, it's a good idea to drink some water at regular intervals. Like at least 15 minutes before you eat, drink some water. And you'll find that you're not as ravenous because you're keeping your stomach full with the water throughout the day as well. So that helps tremendously. And the next thing I will say is mid-morning, a few hours after you eat your breakfast, you want to be sure to eat a nice snack with fiber and protein, at least 2 to 3 hours after breakfast, to hold you over until the afternoon. This will prevent you from overindulging later. So my go-to snack is always, almost always, a piece of string cheese. And sometimes I eat the little 2 Fig Newtons that come in a variety pack, like the pre-portioned snacks. I'll have that. Or I have carrot and zucchini bread. Rice cakes do it for me. Even grapes, or I eat some carrots with cream cheese, or crackers with cream cheese. Something that's going to be filling and hold you over. And I try my best also to sort of backtrack for a minute. When you're eating the snacks, eat it in groups of 2s to 3s, because that's when you're going to be the most filled, and it's going to do the most to sustain you, because sometimes one snack just doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. So I pretty much eat things in groups of 2s or 3s because I feel like I'm the most full when I do that. And then every couple of hours I can go longer. When I eat 2 or 3 snacks at a time, I can go longer without eating. And I found that eating about 5 to 6 snacks a day throughout at regular intervals, it really helps me to curb the hunger and not overdo it when it is time to eat a regular meal. So that's really been helpful to me. The next thing I would say is afternoon snacks. You have to do afternoon snack because around that time you start to get tired and sluggish and you need to pick me up. And food does that. So you need to have something protein rich and include fiber and fruit to hold you over until dinner. So for me, that's a cup of Greek yogurt, that's some Belvita biscuits, and maybe I'll have an orange. That's like my go-to. That combination really works for me, works well for me. Sometimes I'll do the rice cake later, or I'll have cream cheese and carrots. Like I said, I'll switch things out. It doesn't always have to be in the same order. That's something that you can do to switch it up as well to keep it not boring, stop it from being so mundane. So those are some things that work for me as afternoon snacks. And then next thing I would say is eat dinner. Protein, starch, and veggies are must. And so I'll eat a salad or rice and pasta and a pack or two of frozen veggies. And sometimes I have like one pot meals like spaghetti. But other times I'll have like tuna and rice with veggies. Sort of make like a rice bowl. Or I just have pasta salad. Like I make a pasta salad with balsamic vinaigrette, tuna, throw in some sweet red peppers, or I'll have some other vegetable in it to make it palatable, and interesting. Keep it interesting. That's key to surviving and thriving in this new journey, this lifestyle change, because it's not going to be temporary. It's not a diet or temporary fix. You have to stick to this. It has to be sustainable for the rest of your life if you want to keep the weight off. It's something that you have to just keep working at and stay dedicated and stay devoted to yourself and to loving yourself. And a lot of times people talk about loving yourself. But to me, loving yourself means taking care of yourself, eating right, putting really good foods, whole, clean foods in your body, and exercising and keeping yourself in shape. That is loving yourself. So, also, I'm moving on from that. Now, I know after dinner can be a really hard time, the time between dinner and bed, because that's a struggle for me. I always feel like I want to overeat, and it's so easy to overeat, and so tempted to overeat, because especially since it's prime time and all the good shows are on. You want a good snack. Who doesn't want a good snack to watch Scandal with? I mean, really. Or any show, really. So, what I do is I wait 30 minutes, and then after that 30 minutes is up, you set a timer on your phone. Then I can eat something. And I just try to keep that within the calorie range that I have left for the rest of the day and do the best I can do. And if I'm still hungry after that, if I still feel like I'm hungry, I'll try to drink some water, like 1 or 2 cups of water. And then I'll wait a little bit longer, maybe another half an hour. And if that doesn't work, then maybe I'll just eat something else and try to keep it as light as possible. As I go through the night, I try to keep it gradually lighter, like try not to eat anything else heavy as the night goes on, because I want to eventually go to bed, and I don't want to go to bed on a full stomach. So that's why I'm trying to keep it light. If I do have something else, I'm not going to deprive myself. I try my best not to beat myself up about it. It's so hard, but I try not to beat myself up about it. If I have to eat something else, I have to eat something else. Like, you have to feed yourself. You have to listen to your body. Your body's telling you something. If you're hungry, feed it, and don't feel bad about it. So after dinner, I have 2 tablespoons of granola with Greek yogurt, or a half a cup of frozen yogurt, or a pack of veggies, or 15 wheat thins and a tuna packet, because that's a serving of wheat thins. That's how you know you're a little bit too well acquainted with wheat thins, or serving sizes in general, because you know exactly how many you're supposed to eat. But that's me. I'm a little bit on the OCD side about things like that, because I'm really dedicated to this journey, and I have about 8 or 9 pounds to go, and I just really want it to go, and it's just not budging. So I'm like really in that phase where I'm trying everything I possibly can to make it work, and I just want you all to do the same, and I want it to work out for you as well. So I'm passionate about this. And then a thing I would say is, to reiterate, you want to eat breakfast, eat a mid-morning snack. Then you want to also throw in an afternoon snack. And then you want to have dinner. After dinner, if you are not full, wait 30 minutes, have another snack, and then have an after dinner snack. So, which is your before bed snack. And then if that doesn't do it, have another little snack and try to stay in your calorie range as best as you can. And all along the way, drink water. Help fill in the gap. That bridges the gap tremendously. If you don't drink the water, you can expect to feel hungry all the time, but 9 times out of 10, it's thirst. So don't always think it's hunger. Don't always go to that first. That's the first thing I would say. You want to feel full? Drink the water. And eat things that also contain water. So fruit is always a good snack. That's what I like to say. Like as far as oranges, I find that oranges and watermelon, pineapple, cantaloupe, cucumbers, tomatoes, those foods really work for me because they're dense, water dense. So you want to enjoy those as much as possible because it's also a way for you to get more water on board without drinking as much water. So when you get to eat and they're not like they're not calorie dense foods, so it really is beneficial to get into those more fruits and vegetables that are water dense because it helps you feel fuller longer, and it's more satisfying sometimes than eating the junk that you would otherwise consume, and so refreshing. So definitely keep those close by at hand in your fridge because they're your best friend. Water dense fruits and vegetables. That's another thing I would throw in there. So the last thing in conclusion I would say is trial and error. See what works for you. Try different things. Try different measurements. Maybe if you're feeling like a measurement is too high, like they said you can have a half a cup of something, lower it to a quarter a cup. Or they say you can have a cup of something, lower it to half a cup. Or eat a couple of tablespoons versus a whole cup of something. You have to try to really experiment and see how much makes you feel full, how much is you feel like it's too much to eat. Because after a while, you can actually feel like some servings are too much to eat. And that's really the amazing thing that I discovered because I never paid attention to serving sizes. And now that I'm trying to pay attention to it, it's like, wow, that's a lot to eat. And then, so that's a really enlightening thing that I discovered and really something really, really fascinating to me. So just really play around with your serving sizes, see what works for you, what you like, what you don't like, and just try your best. Don't beat yourself up about it. If you go over on your calories and have a bad day, just try harder the next day and just try to play around with your meal plan. More vegetables and fruit, more whole grains, less processed items, and just try to make sure your breakfast is your heaviest meal of the day. That's another thing I would say. Breakfast, make that the heaviest meal, and from then on, gradually eat lighter, and your body will thank you for it. Don't eat heavy all day long. Eat light throughout the day, graze all day, and just eat to eat to be fulfilled, be satisfied, and that way you'll find it easier to stay within your range if you eat things that are satisfying in the first place, not empty calories and stuff that's junk laden. So just really focus on that, and I pray that it goes well with you. I pray that this advice helps you, and I pray that you all will comment below and let me know how you're feeling about these videos, if they're helping you in any way, shape, or form. Subscribe, please, if you haven't done so thus far. And I thank you for watching, and I can't wait to come back with another video next week to inspire you and uplift you and encourage and edify you. And I thank you for everybody out there that's watching and supporting me. God bless you. And I just pray that your journey continues to go well and that you stay the course. See you next time. Bye. Peace and blessings.